This is gonna be a hard video. I'm going to be talking about Indian boarding school experiences, so major trigger warning for multiple subjects. If you are not in the mindset to hear about this today, please favorite the video and come back because it's important history that everyone needs to know about. For those who don't know, Indian boarding schools are being investigated on both a state level and federal level here in the United States. The Department of Interior just concluded their investigation. However, the next leg of the investigations will be taking place once S-1723 is passed through Congress. That's the legislation that will form the Truth in Healing Commission. It will have subpoena power, even though the US bishops are trying to get rid of that subpoena power. I'll talk about that in another video. However, we need to talk about this. So the author of this piece interviewed their grandmother who attended boarding school. She had experiences of being punished for speaking her native language. She attended boarding school in Montana on the Flathead Indian Reservation. This is Angeline Wall. Unfortunately, her grandmother is not alone in this story. Beginning in 1801, more than 500 assimilative boarding schools operated across the United States, including 408 government-run schools in operation between 1819 and 1969. During this time, multiple generations of the author's family attended boarding school, including 12 people that she is directly descended from. I am also a descendant of a boarding school survivor. My grandmother attended Wrangell Institute in Alaska. But this is the section that I think everyone needs to hear about. While many people are learning about the assimilation practices that were done on children as well as the sexual abuse, the topic that has often been left out of the discussion is how unpaid labor and exploitation were also a huge part of these schools, and in many ways looks like human trafficking. And the deeper that these investigations go, the more financial records that are being uncovered, the clearer it becomes that access to exploitable labor was in fact the goal for many of these institutions. Similar documents have been discovered at the school that my grandmother attended up in Alaska. I managed to find my grandmother's name in the National Indian Boarding School Digital Archive, hosted by the Native American Boarding School Healing Coalition. However, more documents have yet to be found, and they're adding to the archive all the time. Other survivors who have given testimony have talked about how they were contracted out to local businesses to do labor and they were never compensated. These were children, some as young as just infants, stripped from their families, their culture, had their language beat out of them, and then forced to do labor while the school profited off of all of it. The Native American Boarding School Healing Coalition is the main group that is advocating for the Truth in Healing legislation on a federal level. They are asking all of us to please contact our representatives in support of S-1723. I have also set up a resist bot. Over 1,400 signatures so far. The code will be on the video somewhere. Testimony from survivors is being gathered, records are being compiled, and graves are being found. The work continues.